Hey everyone. So what I wanted to show today was a kind of interesting combination that I wasn't sure was going to work, but it actually worked pretty well. And I feel like it's this kind of underrated. I haven't really heard many people talk about it, um, but it's the JSAW Joyverse series dual grip. And what's interesting about this, I think in a previous video, I did show off the charging grip, which is just this part right here. Which works really well with the grips for the Genki Attack Vector. But what also surprisingly worked pretty well is this part right here on the Attack Vector. So I saw this in the listing, and all of the photos. These grip parts here are only shown when attached to this, and there's no mention of all of using it just on the Switch itself. All in their marketing, all in their Amazon page, everything. But they look like just regular grips that would be a part of a detachable case. And they looked pretty comfortable. And I think I saw one review that mentioned it, um, and they seemed to like it. But aside from that one review, there wasn't much talk about it. And I thought, well, that actually might work with the Attack Vector case. And surprisingly, it does. So here's the switch with the Attack Vector case on, and actually on the back. Now, instead of the Attack Vector grips, are the grips from the JSAUX charging grip. I'll just set that to the side here. So that's these right here. Check it out. They have this like cool little angle. I think kind of similar to like the trigger style grip on the kill switch. This material here is it's still hard plastic. It feels like it's maybe like hollow inside, and it's like a textured plastic. So it's not grippy and soft like the Attack Vector, but it's still a pretty nice texture. And what's interesting about this works perfectly with the case. So I took off the Attack Vector grips just to try this out. Works perfectly with the case, but it also is like really nice ergonomics on its own. It's designed to work like this. So just in this like this, and which in itself is comfortable. But I really thought the most interesting part was using it on your Switch. And it works fine. I was a little worried that since they don't mention this being used while it's attached to your Switch, that maybe it would be really loose. Maybe it would fall off. Maybe it was designed specifically to be used with the grip. But no, I have not noticed that at all. It's in there pretty good. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall off. I also thought, well, maybe there's an issue with adding tension. Like maybe it's like the kill switch. But no, it works just fine. Um, you still maintain that gap right here that you need. Um, so pretty interesting. What I really like about this is the shape of the grip. And if you look at it again, it's kind of like that trigger grip here. But my one complaint with the Genki grips is either you have these really big ones, which I feel are a little too big, or you have the feather grip, which I really like, but you notice how it kind of just stops right here. So it's up here high. This part's really comfortable, really grippy, but then you don't really have much to hold on to down here. So down your pinkies are kind of just like floating there. Eventually, you kind of figure it out. But something like this is much more comfortable. So I don't know if Genki would ever watch this, but if you are out there, Genki, I think that would be awesome to have some grips like this. I saw a post the other day on your Reddit thread mentioning a possible expansion, but this could work. So I want to talk about a few things here. It's not perfect, of course. As always, there are a few caveats to using this. I think one, this this grip does not fit on as firmly as the Genki grips, and that's a side effect of like the Attack Vector grips actually have adhesive. So they do feel a little loose. You probably can't hear it. Maybe if I turn off voice isolation, let's give it a try. Oh, I think it is off. Okay. So you might be able to hear it. I'll hold it next to the mic. But it feels a little loose. It makes a little bit of a creaking noise. Not sure if it picked that up. When you're playing, you don't really notice that or hear it, but if you like try and move it, you're going to notice that it's a little bit loose, a little creaky. But it does stay on. It's not going to fall off while you're playing. The other bonus, but also quirk, is it does work docking just fine. This doesn't in any way impede docking, but of course, there's a caveat. It does block the USB ports right here. So I did have a controller that I was charging. I moved it off this and moved it to something else in the house, and for me, I was able to make it work, but if you've got a lot of stuff on there, I can see how that could be a little annoying. It does work though. Some other stuff. Of course, my favorite case, the Savage Raven EDC case. It works in this case, which is awesome. Check that out. It pops up a little bit. At first I was a little worried, but it's not a big deal. There's still plenty of space. Still zips very easily, which is awesome. What about some other stuff? Does this work with the travel cover? And yes, it does. I'll show that. Okay, so here's the travel cover for the Attack Vector. And I think it's kind of a bonus of just the way this is designed. But since it doesn't really have much on the side, it'll work with pretty much any grip, I think. Works just fine. It's still very stable, very sturdy. So I thought that was cool. Now, if you really pay attention to the details and this kind of stuff bothers you, you may notice this is like a matte black and this is like a shiny black. So if stuff like that bothers you, which to be honest, it kind of bothers me, you may notice, but from the front, you can't really notice that much. And then finally, does it work in mouse mode? Let's see. Okay, here we go. Maybe I'll set my switch up here so you can actually see. Yeah, well, that works just fine. It snaps on just fine. Works with the other one as well, but I just have the blue one in front of me. That works just fine. So, yeah, overall, very interesting combination. And the price difference between the JSAUX grips, or the JSAUX charging grip, there's a set you get just the grip, charging grip, or the grip plus the ergonomic grips. And it's only like a $3 difference. I think on Amazon this was like $15 or $15.99, and then the version with the ergonomic grips was like $18.99. So anyway, here it is. I think it's technically called the Joyverse series. Joyverse series dual grip. But here it is. I thought it was an interesting combo that I've been checking out and wanted to share. Thank you.